Hello! In this video series, I look at how we can find turning points in time series data. Thank you for all your subscriptions. It is greatly appreciated. So why turning points? A turning point is where we have a local minimum or a local maximum. The idea behind this is if a leading time series peaks, then the lagging time series should also peak in response. This would confirm that there is a relationship between the two time series. Here we have Vacancies Australia compared to Job Vacancies Australia. I have marked some turning points for both time series. We notice that sometimes when lending finance peaks, job vacancies also peaks. And this is sometime later than lending finance. So I want to see if there are any relationships between the two. Does the leading time series tend to lead on a consistent basis? So basically, is the lead time the same? Is there a same gap between these two? Does this vary when an economic downturn arises? So when we had the stock market crash of 1987, was there a difference in lag? To measure this, we need to find the turning points for both time series. In part 1 of this video, we'll look at using some simple mathematics to work out how to find turning points. Here is a simple graph with some turning points. To find a turning point, we need at least 3 points around the turning point. The first turning point in our example is a local minimum. I have labelled the points around the turning point A, B and C. The second turning point is a local maximum. I have labelled these points around the turning point as D, E and F. One way to identify a turning point is to take differences around the turning point. So we have B minus A will be smaller than 0, and C minus B will be greater than 0. The two conditions identify a local minimum. Similarly, E minus D is greater than 0 and F minus E is smaller than 0. These two conditions identify a local maximum. So to formalise, we have two sets of first difference equations. The first one for local minimum is B minus A is smaller than 0 and C minus B is greater than 0. For the local maximum, we have E minus D is greater than 0 and F minus E is smaller than 0. We can simplify this by taking second differences. So, by taking second differences, we can reduce our two conditions to just one condition to check. So, for the local minimum second differences, we have C minus B, which is greater than 0, minus B minus A, which is smaller than 0. So, overall, that will be greater than 0. So we have just one condition. And for the local maximum, we have F minus E, which is smaller than 0, minus E minus D, which is bigger than 0. So overall, it'll be less than 0. So in the next part of this video series, I'm going to show how we implement this in Python. And in fact, how easy it is to implement this method for finding turning points in Python. Thank you for watching. If you like, give me a thumbs up. If you dislike it, give me a thumbs down. If you really like it, please subscribe. Thank you very much.